Shields up, Iron Breakers. Rurikhan here coming at you with another video. Welcome back to Monster Hunter Rise, and it's time for another one of my weapon previews. This time around, we're going to be taking a look at the bowguns, both of them. As you guys no doubt aware, most of the depth of the bowguns comes from experimenting with the different customization options and ammo types. And naturally, in a demo environment, we just don't have access to a lot of these things. Then there's also the fact that I traditionally don't tend to play too much with ranged weapons, save for niche fights like high-rank Kul'Taroth Siege, where I use the light bowgun with rapid-fire elemental ammo to basically AFK through the fight. Now, I wouldn't actually be AFK, but my brain definitely was. The movesets of these weapons are also fairly simple, so there's no need to really go as in-depth as I did for the other weapons. You select your ammo, just like you did with the bow, using the left bumper combined with X and B to scroll up and down, and your Silkbind button is once again the right bumper, as opposed to the melee weapons where you use the left trigger. For ranged weapons, the left trigger is obviously used to aim the weapon, and the right trigger is used to fire. X is used to reload and draw into melee if you're in the air. A is used for the special ability, which we will discuss in more detail for each of the weapons, and X plus A is used for the melee attacks. A notable quality of life change is the ability to see how each type of ammunition works in regards to the bowgun you're using right on the ammo selection UI element. The feet symbol represents the ability to fire while moving. The refresh symbol indicates whether or not you can reload while moving. The downwards arrow means that ammo auto-reloads each shot, and the double arrow up means rapid fire. The last one is not present in the heavy bowgun in this demo, and I doubt heavy bowguns will be able to rapid fire in Monster Hunter Rise, since they never had that ability in World, and their new firing mechanic seems to favor more damage in single shots versus rapid fire. But I'm not particularly well versed in bowguns, so who knows? Before we dive into the individual bowguns, I'd like to mention two new ammo types that show up in the demo's crafting list, but can't actually be used by the bowguns we have available. Those two ammo types are Elemental Piercing Ammo, this is more of a returning ammo type since it's been in the series before, and Shrapnel Ammo. The description for that last one basically states ammo that covers a wide area. Who needs accuracy when you hit this much? Which makes it seem like a variation on spread ammo? I, for one, am very curious to see it. But anyway, let's start things off with the light bowgun, and not a whole lot has changed for this weapon. It is still the more agile of the bowguns with a faster speed and dodges, but no shield. This time around, it seems it will be able to fire cluster bombs just like its heavier sibling, and oh boy, just what we needed. More cluster spamming gunners when a monster is down. Yay! Now, on a more serious note, it's actually pretty cool because it works great with one of the Silkbind techniques we'll discuss in a bit. But moving on from that, light bowgun retains the Wyvern Blast mines we had in World, which once again come in the form of 3 charges that regenerate over time. I do hope we'll also be able to use the modified Wyvern Blast we got with Iceborne, since those appear to suit nicely in Rise's counter meta, where several weapons receive moves to counter monster attacks. Its first Silkbind move is Silkbind Glide. It costs 2 wire bugs and causes you to slide in a chosen direction. If during this glide you press the right trigger, your character does a point-blank shot that deals slicing damage. It's a pretty satisfying skill to pull off, but it seems somewhat weird in the light bowgun's moveset. But please let me know in the comment section how you feel about this particular move, because I'm very curious. I still think it's definitely too expensive to use as an evade move, but at the same time, it's a pretty bursty skill, and it's one of the few burst moves available for the weapon, so I kind of like it. The second Silkbind move is Fanning Vault. It costs 1 wire bug and causes your hunter to leap upwards, very similar to a normal wire bug jump. The difference being your weapon is already out, and that gives you a couple of options while you're airborne. You can shoot whatever ammo type you have equipped. This includes cluster bombs, which naturally is a very effective way of firing this ammo since you don't need to stand there in mortar position. You can also fire your Wyvern Blast mines by pressing A. This also allows you to attach the mines to the monsters themselves, which, as you can imagine, is pretty sweet and my preferred use for this move, because you then detonate the mines by either firing at the monster or using the shot from Silkbind Glide, or simply let the monsters themselves detonate them if you place them appropriately. But that's the light bowgun in a nutshell. Like I mentioned previously, most of the depth for both of these weapons comes from their customization options, so there really isn't much more to say. Let's move on to the heavy bowgun. And while I'm not a huge fan of its new playstyle, I'm quite glad they changed a core mechanic in this weapon. In Monster Hunter Rise, you'll be able to charge every single shot of the heavy bowgun with the exception of mortar shots, like cluster bombs. And charging a shot naturally increases the damage it deals. This includes sticky ammo. So when playing the heavy bowgun, each shot you take becomes a choice. You can normal fire them just like before, thus increasing your DPS output, but spending more ammunition. Or you can charge them, therefore increasing your damage per shot and conserving your ammo. The reason I like this change is because it gives you a clear distinction between both weapon firing styles. They already have their own identities through their movement and special abilities, but the charged shots really emphasizes where each of the weapon excels. Although I should add, I have no idea from a gameplay standpoint that's a positive or a negative, and that's something I'd like to hear from heavy bowgun mains. Is this change something you're looking forward to, or not so much? In this demo, our special ammunition for the heavy bowgun is the Wyvern Heart, the minigun type shot, which very much like in World regenerates over time. I would also assume we'll see a return of Wyvern Snipe, or potentially something new. In terms of Silkbind moves, our first one is Anchor Guard, which is essentially a counter. It costs 2 wire bugs, and if you get hit during it, your hunter will start charging up a shot. But you don't have to wait until it finishes charging, since it doesn't seem to increase the damage. The charging period is just there to let you aim your shot. This deals a significant amount of damage to the monster, and it basically allows you to stay on the offensive at all times, even against harder hitting attacks. The other Silkbind move is a basic Silkbind Glide. It's just a mobility tool for your kit. They say in the Hunter's Notes you're able to perform a quick sheet during this move, but that doesn't appear to be working in the demo, so yeah. They also say you can follow it up with a melee attack, which does work, and on the topic of melee attacks, it seems some of the attack frames also block monster attacks if you have a shield in your weapon, and the demo heavy bowgun does indeed have a shield. So basically, if you're spamming melee with a heavy bowgun, you're somewhat safe. And I say somewhat because the attack recovery animation doesn't appear to have those block frames, so you can still get hit in between attacks. Anyway, that's the bowguns in Monster Hunter Rise. Still not my personal cup of tea, but the light bowgun actually felt pretty fun with the fanning vault move, attaching mines to monsters and then blowing them up with Silkbind Glide, whereas the heavy bowgun, I guess I like the Silkbind counter, but that's about it. How about you? How did you like the bowguns in Monster Hunter Rise? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button. If you did not like this video, hit the dislike button since feedback is important. If you usually enjoy my content, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay strong, stay safe, peace out.